Another week and another Diddy lawsuit. A woman is now claiming that Diddy and another male celebrity, while a female celebrity watched them, are her. And despite Diddy facing all these allegations, it hasn't stopped his streaming numbers. And a lot of people have been making conspiracy theories about a connection between Diddy and the now late Liam Payne. Well, the autopsy is now revealing, very similar to what Diddy has been accused of possessing when he was arrested by the SDNY, of pink powder being in his system when he allegedly threw himself off a balcony in Argentina. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So before we get to the Diddy of it all, there's been a lot of conspiracy theories on connections between Diddy and other celebrities that have attended his white parties. But there have been some conspiracy theories recently about Liam Payne's passing and his involvement with Diddy.
I went over to say hello to P. Diddy, and Jay-Z was there, and Leonardo DiCaprio was sat at the
All
far
right,
side.
I think you've dropped enough now.
We won't get into that, but we will talk about this similar connection because I think a lot of us never heard of pink powder or pink cocaine ever before. Well, now, according to this autopsy, this is what was found in Liam Payne's body when he died. Deadline says the toxicology test results indicate that Liam Payne had multiple drugs in his system at the time of his death last week, including, quote, pink cocaine as well as cocaine and crack. Pink cocaine is a recreational drug that includes ketamine, methamphetamine, MDMA, opioids, and or new psychoactive substances, according to the National Institute of Health. A partial autopsy report last week determined that the former One Direction singer died of, quote, multiple trauma and internal and external hemorrhage as the result of the fall from the balcony of his third-floor hotel room in the Palermo neighborhood of Buenos Aires, where he was staying. According to Deadline, they said that Payne's body will remain in Argentina until the autopsy is complete, according to ABC News, citing sources. As reported earlier, hotel staff raised the alarm that Payne's apparently erratic behavior moments before his death, 911 calls revealed. A receptionist at the Casa Palermo Hotel in Buenos Aires, Argentina, notified police that Payne's life was in danger, according to a recording of the 2 emergency calls. The hotel alleged that Payne was intoxicated on drugs and alcohol and had been trashing his room at the time of the disturbance. Staff called for urgent assistance. But the first time for a lot of us ever hearing about this pink powder or pink cocaine was this Diddy situation, something that was a part of his freak-offs materials. And according to reports, when Diddy was arrested at the New York City Midtown Hotel, apparently they may have found pink powder in his room. Well, Diddy is back in the headlines this week because he is facing another lawsuit. But before we get to this lawsuit and the details of this lawsuit, Diddy, despite all of the backlash that he's received, it hasn't hurt his streaming numbers. New York Times says that in the 11 months since the singer Cassie accused Sean Combs in a lawsuit of SA and years of physical abuse, the mogul's once booming music career has largely fallen apart. His songs have vanished from radio playlists. He became a pariah at the Grammy Awards, where he once held court. And his business interests, including stakes in media network and popular liquor brand, have collapsed. At least 17 more lawsuits have been filed against Mr. Combs alleging misconduct, and last month he was indicted in New York on federal charges. As you know, Sean Diddy Combs has pled not guilty and is appealing his detention in a Brooklyn jail that's supposed to be held on his birthday, November 4th. But the New York Times says, but through it all, one part of Mr. Combs' music business has remained steady and even seen some growth: the popularity of his songs on streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music. They said over the last year, Mr. Combs, who is known as Diddy and Puff Daddy, faced a drumbeat of negative stories in the news media, like the raids on his homes by federal agents in March and a leaked security camera video in May that showed him brutally assaulting Cassie in a hotel from 2016. The number of people who followed him on Spotify has steadily grown. That figure has climbed from 1.5 million late last year to 1.8 million now, an increase of 15%, according to Chartmetric, which tracks data from streaming music and social media. They said recently the number of clicks of Mr. Combs' songs have shot up dramatically. In the week before his arrest on September 16th, his catalog had about 3.2 million streams on services in the United States. In the weeks following, the figure rose about 50% to 4.8 million, according to Luminate, which supplies the data for Billboard's charts. In the most recent chart week, the number dipped a bit to 4.3 million. On social media, Mr. Combs' follower count has fluctuated depending on the platform, but support on TikTok has been strong, where the hashtag free Diddy has 12,000 uses. They remind us, it says, in the music business, this has become a popular phenomenon of the streaming era. A household name like R. Kelly, Marilyn Manson, or Michael Jackson come under harsh scrutiny over allegations of sexual misconduct and may temporarily suffer broader cultural marketplace, but maintain steady streaming numbers. According to George Howard, a professor at the Berklee College of Music, sees this as partly a function of curiosity, as casual listeners refresh their memories about an artist's work or to do their own homework in trying to understand the news. Clicking on a track is easy and free way to do that. If Tower Records were still around, we would not see people walking in there and paying $15 for a CD to satiate that curiosity. That's a good point. But there's an anonymity with streaming. It's the same human impulse as looking at a car wreck. They said nostalgia or headline-driven interest may count for recent bump in Mr. Combs' streaming numbers, but they can't explain the continued popularity of Mr. R. Kelly, who in 2022 and 2023 was sentenced to more than 30 years in prison for child S crimes, S trafficking, and racketeering. I will never understand that, but that gives a little glimmer as to why some of this might be happening. But as I told you before, Diddy's back in the headlines this week for another lawsuit. But this lawsuit, unlike some of the other lawsuits, we did mention one previous lawsuit that involved a 9-year-old boy. But this one is interesting because there is another unnamed celebrity, male celebrity, that participated, and apparently a female celebrity that watched. According to People magazine, they said 5 new lawsuits accusing Diddy of SA have been filed by 2 men and 3 women, one of whom was 13 at the time that she claims that she was AR'd. None of the plaintiffs are identified by name, but they all accuse Combs of either SA or R'ing them in alleged incidents spanning from 2000 to 2022. The complaints, which have been obtained by People, were filed on Sunday, October 20th at the Southern District of New York. The lawsuits are just the latest filed against Combs, whose legal woes began mounting, as you know, last November when his ex, Cassie Ventura, accused him of sexual misconduct in a suit that was quickly settled, less than 24 hours. So a woman who was 13 years old in 2000 when the alleged incident occurred said that she had gotten entry into one of Combs' party at a residence in New York following the Video Music Awards. Upon arrival, she claims that she was asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement and was eventually drugged after being given a drink, according to the complaint. The accuser says that she was later approached by Combs, who had a, quote, crazed look in his eyes, who allegedly told her, "You are ready to party," the complaint alleges. The accuser, who is now in her mid-30s, claims that at the party, she was R'd by an unnamed male celebrity while an unnamed female celebrity watched before Combs R'd her as well, according to the complaint. The other complaint detailed alleged incidents in Las Vegas and Los Angeles. The other 2 female plaintiffs both claimed that Combs R'd them after drugging them. One of the 2 male accusers says that he was drugged and SA'd by both Combs and an unnamed celebrity, according to the complaint. The other male accuser says that Combs groped him at a Ciroc vodka party in Los Angeles. The latest plaintiffs accusing Combs are being represented by high-profile attorney Tony Busby. As you know, Tony Busby held a press conference claiming that he had 120 victims ready to come forward and file their own individual lawsuits. 25 of those 120 people included minors. So in a statement to People, this is what Diddy's attorneys have to say. The press conference and the 1-800 number that preceded today's barrage of filings were clear attempts to garner publicity. Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts, their legal defenses, and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs has never sexually anyone, adult, minor, or man or woman. As you know, we did a video a few days ago letting you know an update in regards to Diddy's legal situation in regards to him seeking bail for a third time. He's appealing the denials that he has. That is supposed to happen on November 4th. However, one of the new information that we got from that is that there was new information that Diddy's legal team wanted to enter into court. So if you missed that video, be sure to check out that video that we did on that. Guys, as always, I want to know your reaction to all of this information that's Diddy related, even Liam Payne's passing. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
You bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire.